Hello there, this is Pete Howard, Director of Concert Posters for Heritage Auctions. And look at this really compelling, unusual Janis Joplin concert poster from the summer of 1970. Just sort of a surreal, hypnotizing psychedelic concert poster with the silkscreen process used to produce it. And I just love it. Actually, it's painful when I see a poster like this and realize it was used once. You know, this so should have been a tour blank for a small portion, at least a small portion of a tour, but nope, small town America, Schenectady, New York is where it was used, and the Aerodrome Theater. And, you know, that's why you've never seen it before. And this is certainly a first ever Heritage offering, you know, whether it's Janis or Hendrix or whatever, touring America for years without a tour blank, you get these marvelous, wonderful, small town independent artist creations, and this is in the top 5% of those things. It's just really, really a knockout. Schenectady, by the way, is about 18 miles northwest of the state capital of Albany. So I just love the feel, you know, the feel of this poster with its rolling black lettering and, you know, Janis singing with her hands in the air, you know, it's and the coloring, of course, the coloring in her name and in her hair, and then down below her hair down there, it's just, you know, yells of silk screening process. Now, if you check it out, it's very interesting that the colors morph not top to bottom like a Tillman press split fountain technique. This is not split fountain. Left to right, they morph from green to yellowish to either orange or rust, however you want to interpret it. And the same thing's true down at the bottom. See the A in air conditioning, and up top, and on the right is the final color. So that's, it's pretty neat to observe. You know, you can almost imagine them pulling the silk screen and changing those colors like that. I just really love that stuff. Just absolutely delightful. And the credit goes to, well, notice down in the lower right corner, it does say a little bit puzzingly, Eros of Propaganda Graphics. So I don't know if Eros was a person or just, you know, sort of a nickname they had for the things that they produced. So among the wording here, did you catch the word snake? Sort of an unusual word that stands out by itself, doesn't it? Well, thankfully, because in the early 70s, I went to a concert when I started going to shows, and Alice Stewart and Snake was a touring band at the time, and so that's who that act is. They just didn't have the Alice Stewart on this poster. It just says Snake. And being the summertime, you can bet that air conditioning was a strong draw for customers, so that goes all the way across the bottom of the poster, air conditioning. That's funny, but that was an important element, you know. And there were two shows at 7 and 10 p.m. Now, I've mentioned Schenectady a couple of times, and you might say, wait a minute, it doesn't say it on the, how do we know it's Schenectady? That's because this is localized concert poster advertising. They didn't have to say the city you were standing in. And I was thinking about it though, only 18 miles from Albany, maybe they should have said Schenectady. No, because it's in a very unusual venue, the Aerodrome. And so anybody in Albany knew where the drome was, is what they probably called it, or the Aerodrome. So there was no sense, I didn't count the letters in Schenectady, but it's long. There was no sense in dropping that into all this really lovely rolling lettering. And I just love small town concert. Even, well, then come to think of it, even you don't see many concert posters that say New York City or Los Angeles or something. They will give the venue, and everybody tends to know where it is. Now, unfortunately, there's one downside to doing Janis Joplin concert posters, especially from 1970, and sadly, she only had 3 full months of her life left to live after this. But what a dynamo and what a gift to the music world. True confession here, I just watched the Monterey Pop movie, which I've seen 50 times before, but I watched it with my daughter in her 20s, and she was mesmerized by Janis Joplin's performance with Big Brother and the Holding Company in that movie. What a unique talent. Janis is just so amazing in that movie. So, as I said, a first ever Heritage offering, and this will be on Saturday, April 19th of our 3-day music memorabilia and concert poster auction. And this one will be on the Saturday the 19th. And to read more about it and see pics and everything and the rest of the auction, just go to ha.com/7414.